Maybe just shut that drawer for me.
You can edit that or you must.
Yeah, no. I'll just edit it. Hello. Here I am in the bunny pen. Things have changed a little bit from yesterday. What happened after I came back from the stress bonding, where they had me walking around the park for an hour, and then I was in a cafe out of the cold for an hour. Well, not a cafe, there's a hospital around the corner from me, and I stopped in for a coffee and some porridge just to bide some time. They were fine in the pet carrier. They didn't fight or anything like that. They were absolutely fine. I didn't hear any scuffles or anything. I walked all over the park. At one point, I had to save the bunnies for a dog, this little terrier thing. I was sitting on a bench and it came up and was sniffing the carrier. So I picked it up and it was still jumping. So then I had to jump on a bench and hold the carrier up in the air and then be like, whose dog is this? Damn foolish dog. So hopefully it didn't scare the life out of them. So here I'm sitting in a pen with Hopsy. I'm back there in the corner. Hopefully you can see her just over there is Jessica. So basically what happened, it all went well and everything. I came back, I took him out the carrier. This whole pen was as one as it's been for the last like 5 days or so. And they had a scuffle as soon as they came out. And I'm not even going to lie, but like my heart sunk. I said, oh my gosh, you know what I mean? I've been out there for 2 hours trying to walk with these bunnies, trying to talk to the bunnies, trying to reason with the bunnies and get them to get on with each other. And they came out and they had a scuffle. Then they settled down. And for the first time since we've moved from the kitchen into here, because we was in the kitchen for 17 days, marathon bonding session, and then we came into here. But since Jessica's been in here, she hasn't really been comfortable. Like her and Hopsy were getting into a kind of like chasing thing. And Jessica, she just really wasn't settled. There was no major fights or anything, but they were kind of running around. And yeah, I just thought we need to try something different, which is why I tried the bonding session. They call it stress bonding. It's meant to stress out the bunnies, and hopefully that stress is meant to bring them together closer, you know, because all they've got is each other to hold on to. Some people don't really like the technique, but for me yesterday it was like desperate measures. So yeah, they had a little scuffle and my heart sunk. I was like, oh gosh. And then it picked up. Jessica was really comfortable. It's like being in that little space with Hopsy just kind of was like, all right, cool, maybe she's not too bad. And she started to walk around and she was relaxed and lying down and eating and chilling. Still not too hot in terms of being in the same litter tray, but they were cool. Then Jessica, with her brave self, and God bless Jessica, went up to Hopsy and Hopsy lunged and nipped at her. Again, not bad, but enough to make Jessica run off. And I was just like, oh my gosh, like, Jessica was brave enough to kind of come up to Hopsy and then Hopsy just nipped her or tried to nip her. So that was it. Jessica ran away and I was like, okay, then I need to find a way to break this. Like, what can I do that's different, basically? Because they've just got into this little bit of habit. Hopsy doesn't trust Jessica. Jessica doesn't trust Hopsy. Usually you've got one dominant rabbit, which, you know, usually would be Hopsy, and Jessica would yield to the dominant one, which is Hopsy, but Jessica's not yielding. So the two of them are in this cat and mouse game, and it's checkmate at the moment. No one ain't moving. They're both very, 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 very stubborn. So, you know, in desperation, I reached out. I reached out to this organization. It's a rabbit fostering network up in Devon. I reached out to them before the Christmas, and then the lady had been in touch, a lady from there. She got back in touch with me and asked me how things were going. And I was like, listen, I'm so glad that you've got in contact with me because I'm a little bit desperate right now. And we ended up really talking. And these people, they're experts. They adopt and foster out bunnies for a business, where it's a charity. This is what they do as a livelihood, professional bunny people. And I need some professional advice to deal with Hopsy and to deal with Jessica. Do you know what I mean? So basically what she said to me is, this is the setup. I've got one pen here. I've got a separating bit here. Over there is Jessica. She even told me where to put the litter tray. So the litter trays are here, so they can see each other. And then behind me is their water and their food. Now, basically what happens is in the mornings I come out, I feed them I feed them. I only leave the bowls out there for an hour, and then I take the bowls away. That means that feeding time they have to come together, even though they're separate wires. They're behind the wires. They've got to come together. And then I don't leave the bowl out for any more than an hour. And then after that, the idea is at some point during the day, the bit separating them comes out, and they spend time together. I remove everything, their litter trays, clean out the whole place, wash it down, put in one big litter tray and one bowl of water and nothing else. And hopefully the idea is that will force them to come together and interact with each other and learn that actually they want exercise time. If they want to get out from the smaller pen and be able to run around and jump in the bigger pen, that they've got to get on with each other. So we shall see. This is a new thing. We shall see. The woman said, give it a week and see what happens. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to give it a week and see what happens. Actually, I will try anything right now. Do you know what I mean? Bath, dashing holy water on the bunnies. I'm not sure what else to do. So this woman's giving me some real good advice and I'm willing to take it. So we've got a week of this situation where we've got them in separate pens and they're just meeting for an hour or two every day, depending on how they react to each other. So no exercise time out of this. The only time they have exercise time is when they're together. And if they nip or they fight or they chase, exercise time is done. So hopefully after a while they will learn, be nice to each other. You get to play for a bit more, you be horrible to each other. That's it, time done. So that's me done for today. I'll let you know how it goes. I'm going to give them their first exercise sessions together a bit later on. Pray for me, people. Pray for me. So this is Hopsy, and over there we've got Jessica. Thanks for tuning in. Hey, Jess.